We bought 1,000 houses in the last 10 years, and we want to show you our top 3 lead sources to get those deals. All right, so here we're at one of our latest rentals. It's finished. The rehab is about done. There's just a few more things to do. So we're gonna walk you through this rehab. This is the bomb shelter one. If you haven't seen it, click on this link above to see the bomb shelter video of this house before we rehabbed it. There's a bomb shelter in the basement, so it's kind of crazy.
Why do you think they put a bomb shelter in this house? This is not a house that would typically have a bomb shelter.
I don't know. This is, it's pretty unique. The guy was an engineer. He lived here his whole life, so I don't know if he...
I think he had a stash of gold in there.
He might have had a stash of gold. He might have had some wine. He might have been doing some crazy things in there, some illegal things in there. So it's an interesting video if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool. But
you guys eliminated the bomb shelter.
We eliminated. You won't even see it's there. We'll show you where it's there when we get to the basement.
I think it's a selling feature.
It is. Well,
it
could be a renting feature. Yeah. If there's ever a nuclear bomb, you'll be safe if you rent in this house.
I would put a hidden door to it.
Well, maybe we will. All right, so we're gonna walk you through this house. We're just kind of use it as a backdrop and just touch on a few things. Brian's never been in this house before, so it's his first time.
I love it.
So it's his first time getting here. So he's gonna we'll go over what we did. He may ask me a couple questions on it, and we're gonna go over those 3 free lead sources that we have used to buy a lot of houses over the past few years.
All right, let's get into them. Number 1, wholesalers. I love buying from wholesalers. I know I personally bought hundreds of houses from wholesalers.
I bought this house from a wholesaler. We also bought 20, this is when we bought our 27 house package from, which link up here to that video, but we bought 27 houses in one deal from him, and I probably bought 7 or 8 cents. So they're a great lead source.
Yeah, so how do you find wholesalers?
There's a lot of different ways you find wholesalers. A main way is just getting your name out and about on all the local Facebook groups. I know I say that a lot, but each town, each city that you live in has a bunch of, go online and type in, we're in St. Louis, so St. Louis Real Estate Investor Group on Facebook or whatever. If you're in Indianapolis Facebook, go on there and look it up, and you just look at the list. There's gonna be probably 5 or 10 houses a day that are for sale from wholesalers. Contact them. Another great way is bandit signs on the side of the road. Those are all wholesalers. They say we buy houses. They usually aren't buying the houses. They get them under contract and sell that contract. So if you call them, ask to get on their buyer's list. Those are the 2 main ways that pop in my head. What else can you think of?
Well, one of the ways that I used to always do it is just type in Google, we buy houses. And you're gonna get all that ads up at the top, and those are definitely people that are buying houses, and a lot of them are wholesaling also. Some of them are rehabbing, but you just got to give them a call and ask, hey, are you wholesaling or are you rehabbing? If you're wholesaling those houses, I'd love to be one of your buyers. And just don't just look at the first page. Go to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th page on Google, and everybody that shows up, just give them a call. Say, hey, I'm Brian Schroeder, I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking for good rental houses. I would love to buy a house from you and kind of give them your area that you like to buy in and what your criteria is, and just tell them you're going to make it super easy for them. I think that's the key, that wholesalers want buyers that make their job super easy.
And you make their job super easy by showing up when you say you're going to show up, being available to look at the house, giving them an offer every time, even if it's way lower than they're thinking. Give them the offer and explain why, so they start to learn how you come up with your offer, so they can maybe funnel those type of deals your ways and be able to close quickly. Lots of times they'll only have the house isn't vacant always, so you can't just send 50 people, and sometimes they can only get 1 or 2 people, and then you want to be one of those 1 or 2 people. So sometimes it takes time to build that relationship, but if you have built it, I get, the wholesaler I bought this from, I know him his first call every time, and I'll give him an offer, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, he goes on to the next guy.
Yeah, and I think also that making sure you get good at writing contracts and making decisions quickly where you don't have to put in a bunch of contingencies, and make sure you got your financing all set up so you don't have to make it easy as possible on that wholesaler. Hopefully you don't got to get an appraiser in there, but sometimes you do. If you have to get an appraiser in there, I think that's all right, but preferably you work with either private investors or hard money lenders that'll make it super easy for you to get that loan. unless you get a line of credit or paying cash, either way.
Alrighty, so let's get to the house a little bit. So here's the kitchen. If you haven't seen the last video, we talked about doing a little bit more to it actually than we did. We were going to replace the countertop, but it cleaned up pretty good, and we were going to replace those appliances behind Bryan. But this is kind of a weird size. This is more than that the 30 inches that most stoves are, and it works great. So we might have to replace it in the future, but we kept it for now. Same with the microwave, it's a little bit of an odd size. So we kept them because they work great. We got them serviced and clean. Other than that, we didn't do a whole lot to the kitchen. It cleaned up pretty nice. You can notice that there used to be a wall where the cameraman is. If he was, Yates would be on the other side of the wall and you couldn't even see us. You just would hear us talking. So we opened up that wall a little bit to kind of just make the space a little bit easier to get into rather than walking in the front door and have to go all the way around. So let's head to the bathroom and then let's give them the second free lead source to get a lot of great deals. Wait, stop. Before we go to the bathroom and give you the second free lead source, please like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified first. We put out great content like this every single week and we'd love to grow our following. Let's go. All right, we're sitting here in the hall bath right outside the kitchen. As you can see by the after videos that are going to be flashing in front of you right now, we didn't do a ton to this. We took down the wallpaper on the walls and painted like we said. We sprayed this tile on the wall white, and then we ended up actually keeping the floor, and then this tub base was actually interesting. We did, and Bryan asked the first thing he said when I walked in the house was, why didn't you spray paint the tub or seal the tub? We do
Make it white.
Make it white. We do that if it was like pink or yellow or some weird color, we would probably do that, but eventually that does chip. They do a great job and it doesn't chip right away, but over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, sometimes it'll chip. So it would have became a maintenance item. This is probably a 50-year-old tub and it is in great shape. So the fact that it's like that gray blue color and kind of matches the rest of the bathroom, we ended up leaving it. Maybe we'll seal it at some point, but we're leaving it because I think it looks good and we're not gonna have to worry about chipping.
Yeah, I think and every investor does things slightly differently, which is always kind of fun to see what everybody else does. I think personally, I would have sprayed the tub white, just like the walls here and stuff, but not a wrong answer either way.
Alrighty, so what is the second great lead source that you can get for free to have people bringing you leads and bringing you deals?
Real estate agents. And when people think about buying from real estate agents, if you're newer to the business, what most people think of is looking in the MLS and calling up your real estate buddy and telling him to send you leads that show up in the MLS. And that might work every once in a while, but or when there's like a huge recession going on or something, there's a ton of deals out there. But in most markets, especially the market we're in right now, market's pretty hot. Mm-hmm. So many people see the deals that are in the MLS, and those are not the ones that you want to deal. You want to work with real estate agents directly. And what I find is every really good real estate agent out there has 2 or 3 or 4 investors they call whenever they go on a listing appointment and the house is a hoarder house or the house needs more work than the listing agent wants to, the seller wants to do, and the listing agents typically, they don't like to throw houses in the MLS that need a bunch of work. Mm-hmm. So every good agent has a list of 2 or 3 or 4 investors that they call whenever they get what we call pocket listings, off-market deals that they call their investors on before they throw it in the MLS. So you want to be one of those 2 or 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, we just shot a video recently on that too, the top 5 reasons and benefits of dealing with real estate agents, so check that out up here as well. But my favorite thing is they sell you to the seller.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in that video a little bit, but when we go to houses and try and buy them, more than half the battle, 80% of the battle is having the seller trust you that you're going to close and trust you that you're a good company and that they can, that they're going to get to the closing table and get their check. You have to do that a little bit when a real estate agent brings you a deal, but not usually. Usually they have a relationship with the homeowner and the seller, and they say, hey, this is Bryan. He's bought a ton of houses from me. He's a great guy. They're a great company to work with. He's going to close guaranteed, and then automatically the seller trusts you and has trust in your offer, and then you don't have to sell your offer as hard. The agent will sell it for you. So they're a great source. We buy a ton of houses from real estate agents, stuff that never would have hit the market. Like you said, it's just easy for the agent, and we'll tell them that we'll pay you both sides of the commission. A lot of times, if that selling real estate agent would have to bring in another agent, and that buyer agent would get paid, so they would get half the commission, the buyer's agent with the other half. How we do it, we said, we don't need that, you keep that because you're bringing us this deal, make a little extra money on it. You get both sides of it, if the seller is going to be paying both sides of it. We'll just take it at our price and we're happy as long as our numbers work.
And I find that a lot of real estate agents are really motivated by money. So by incentivizing them, but by incentivizing them, just like you said, to get both sides of the commission, that really gets them excited about bringing you deals. So how do you start building those relationships with those real estate agents?
Again, just kind of getting the word out that you're looking to buy houses, going to these clubs. I stress it a lot, but going to these local meetups, going to these clubs, if there's agents going to those, then they're good. They have worked with investors before because they know that they're going to be with investors, and just getting involved. And you can call. You can do that too. You
That's
can go.
What I would do.
I
just cold call them.
Go call. You can look up all the Berkshire Hathaway, Keller Williams, all the independent brokers in your area. Just look them up and call them and start to build a relationship. Take them out to coffee, bring pizza to one of their lunch meetings or something like that.
Yeah, what my favorite thing to do is where I want to buy rental houses. I have a specific kind of 30-mile radius where I buy most of my rental houses. And I just look in the MLS, and if you have access to the MLS, you can do this yourself, or you can just hire or ask a real estate buddy to do it for you. Is find the agents that are most active in the areas where you want to buy your rentals, and then I just cold call them. I just call them up directly, say, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I'm trying to add rental houses to my portfolio. Give them a picture of the kind of house that you like to buy, and just ask them, hey, if you ever run into any of those deals, before you throw it in the MLS, will you give me an opportunity to just make an offer on it? And just build relationships over time doing that.
Awesome. Alrighty, let's head down to the basement where the old bomb shelter was. We're going to go over the third way to get free leads and free deals.
Boom.
Last time we saw you guys down here, there was a big hole right here where our bomb shelter is. It's right behind here. Kind of hear an echo, but anyways, it's right behind here. We covered it up like we said we were going to do. Brian and I were just having a discussion, would he have done that or not? It is kind of a nice feature to have for storage and for safety, but the hazards of a tenant getting in and out of it and falling, it's all concrete. You fall, there's no padding. There was a weird little ladder down there. So we covered it up. It's getting vented on the outside and then through here so it can have air circulation. So we should be good. Hopefully we won't have to ever get in there again, but if we do need to, we can. So what is the third way to get free leads and free deals, Brian?
First of all, Sam, if there's a apocalypse or something crazy, bigger riots or something, I'm coming over here.
Perfect.
I know where to go.
There you go. Perfect.
But the third free awesome way to find great deals is driving for dollars. Do you do any driving for dollars?
I do a lot of driving for dollars, and our team does a lot of driving for dollars. So you basically, it is what the name of it is. You drive around and look for houses. So if you're driving around going on an appointment, I tell all our sales guys that if they're going to look at a house, they're going to want to drive around and get a feel for the neighborhood anyway. So 15, 20 minutes before you look at the house, drive around, look at the neighborhood, get a feel for it. But also if you see any houses that potentially look like they have issues, if it's winter, if there's you can tell there's snow on the roof, like there's no heat coming from the house, if you can tell if it's vacant, or if there's snow on the driveway sill and all the other driveways are taken care of it. But in the spring and summer, if the grass is tall, or if it just looks like it hasn't been taken care of or it's vacant, it has a higher chance to sell. Driving by a perfect house, even if it's an area you want, the odds of that seller having an issue that they would need to sell their house at a discount is extremely low. When you drive by and there's issues on the exterior of the house, it's still probably not a great chance they're going to sell, but it's much higher than just an average house that you're driving by.
Sam, I drove by a house this morning. As a matter of fact, I took a picture of it. We'll include it in here. But Perfect. It basically had like a junkyard out front. Mm-hmm. There were bicycles all over the place. There was a car on blocks, unlicensed. And then there were stickers on the window. Stickers on the window are generally a sign that the city has got an issue with the house, condemned the house, whatever, who knows. So that's the kind of house that I look for.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. So if you're out just looking at a house that potentially has an issues, you can take a picture of it, write down the address, and then you can go online and look it up, through Zillow, or you can, if you have access to the tax records, go on there and try and find the seller, or you can write them a letter, or what's one of our acquisition guys does, they'll just go knock on the door.
I did that this morning. Nobody answered.
So
it looked like it was vacant.
Yeah, so you just go knock on the door and just say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I buy houses in the area. Walking around knocking on all these doors is seeing if any has interest in selling. I wouldn't say, your house looks like crap, I want to buy it. I wouldn't say that. I would just kind of say I buy houses in this area, which you do, and you're just walking around knocking on doors and seeing if anyone has any interest in selling. If not, no big deal. Have a great day, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. So it's a great way to go out, and you're already out driving. Some people go out and drive for 4 hours just doing that, but I tell our guys that do it as you're driving through your normal daily occurrences, or if you're driving to work, or if you're driving around, just take a different path to work every day if you have a job. If you're just leave a few minutes earlier so you're not worried about traffic, and just take a different path every day to work and try and look for some houses.
And we're going to give you a great tip if you want to spend just a little bit of money. It's very little, but it does cost a little bit of money.
Bonus tip.
Bonus tip.
Stars.
What you got an app that you recommend?
We do. Deal Machine app is what all our guys use. There's different levels. There's lower level, mid level, high level. We have the high level because we have a big team and a bunch of people on it. But it's very inexpensive to get the low level where you can just drive by. You can have your phone up and it tracks you, and then it shows you which houses are absentee owners, which is huge. How cool is that? So you know that the person that lives in the house is not the owner. The fact that the person who owns the house owns other houses is a very, very higher chance of selling than someone that lives in there. Yep. So you can see that, and then you just click on the house and it gives you all the owner information there. You can skip trace it right there, hit a button for I think it's 49 cents, and it gives you the possible phone numbers and email addresses of the people that live there from the public data, or you can send mail directly from the app for a cheap price. I think it's 50 cents as well to send a postcard. So you can literally drive around, click a couple buttons, either call them or send them a letter right there, and you can set up your own sequences. So it makes it super easy, and it's super inexpensive. So it's a great app. And we have if you go there and type in FasterFreedom in the promo code, you get free deal credits, which is awesome. So you basically get free skip traces and free mail. So you type in that code FasterFreedom, a link that will be in the description of the video as well. But it's a great way to get really accelerate the process. Yeah,
that Deal Machine app just makes it so easy. It's really nice. So we highly recommend it. So we got 3 methods: wholesalers, real estate agents, driving for dollars.
And if you focus on those 3, if you just focus on those 3 for the next 6 months to a year, you will buy a lot of houses. Yes. If you focused on too many things and try and do 15 different lead sources, that can be a lot. But if you just focus on those 3, it's a cheap or free way to get deals coming your way. It's a cup of coffee or a lunch or the app. It's a cheap way to really get deals, and I promise you will get deals.
If I was new to this business and just wanting to build a portfolio of rentals, this is exactly what I would do. You could build a really nice portfolio of rentals in the area you want to be in, spending 0 marketing money or very little marketing money, and getting houses coming to you.
Awesome. In the comments below, please leave your favorite way to get free leads, whether it's one of those 3 ways, or if you have a different way that you get free leads and free deals that you actually buy that are good deals. Comment that in the comment below. Appreciate you guys watching. If you really like the video, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified first when new videos come out. And we are the ones answering all the questions. So put the comments in. It's not a virtual assistant, it's not somebody else, it's us answering the questions. So any questions you have, any comments, put in the comment section. We'd really, really appreciate it. Hey guys, Brian and I just covered our 3 favorite ways to find free leads to buy discounted properties. Check out this video above where we go over dozens of ways that we get leads to buy the thousands of houses we bought over the past several years. We cover that in this video, so check it out. That video I just talked about is coming out next week, so you do not want to miss it.
Sam, I kind of want to buy this house from you for that
all right, we're going to negotiate
bomb shelter.
We're going to negotiate off camera right now.